Hey, guess what?
What?
It's season 3 of Meet Me and
Yeah, it is.
In case you didn't know what you were listening to, it is season 3. I'm going to read this again, y'all. She just keeps handing us this
The
script.
5th time?
Even this time, we got in trouble for. Apparently, this is
Listen,
distracting.
don't get that too close to the microphone.
Apparently, it's distracting. Hey, this is your go-to podcast for all things East in the Volunteer State. Join us as we explore the stories and people behind the hidden gems, vibrant cities, and breathtaking landscapes. We've got you covered. I'm Lara. As always, we're recording from Maypop Studio in downtown Johnson City and can't wait to explore these hills with you.
That sounded so genuine. You did such a great job. I'm Jenna for the whatever time it is. And today I really am excited. I'm always excited, but today I'm really excited.
You know what I'm feeling?
What?
You know what I'm feeling?
What?
Spicy.
Get that camera. Sorry, that was gonna make a little like salsa dance kind of thing, you know. But then like with the microphone,
really it's spicy. I don't even know I was feeling spicy. So now
cut that. Let's cut that part, Mitch. Cut it. Cut that. Cut the shake. Sorry about that.
That one time you make caramel. That caramel treble. Oh, okay. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, you make it look a little cuter. I was a little too aggressive with the shake. I think
I'm feeling spicy.
Okay, I'm going to tell the listeners who are guests.
I know they want to know now.
We have Jose Castillo in the studio. He is one spicy guy. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit, how he coined that. But his mission in life is to add flavor, connect people, change the world. He's a speaker. He travels all over the country, emceeing NASCAR races to audiences of 150,000. That's right, Bristol. He makes salsa on a stage in front of 500 business executives, helps students find their unique voice, and most recently, and you're excited about this one because you're an Olympic nerd, he was the host for Team USA in Paris for the 2024 Summer Olympic Games.
So jelly. So
guys, today, welcome Jose Castillo.
Thank you so much.
For being
I'm
here.
so excited to be with you.
Of course you had to have that on.
I know. Well, you got to rep Team USA. That's
right. One thing,
and you truly got to, but we're going to come back to that in a minute.
And he stays swagged out. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like NASCAR, Team USA, he has the swag.
I can go back many years ago to when I first started following Jose, right? I don't even know really what you did then, but whatever it was that many years ago, I was like, this thing's really cool. Like, he's famous.
And I'm like,
guess what? I'm here today with him.
That's right. And I don't know that we even said he's also an entrepreneur. We didn't even put that in there. He owns a business right here, right near our studio. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's right. So anyway, thank you for being with us. Don't let us monopolize this entire and talk about
this. Is why I'm here to listen to you guys. Y'all have such a great show. It's so much fun.
Let's hear about you. Tell us about Jose.
So I am, like you said, a host, MC, speaker, entrepreneur, but I like keeping my hands in a lot of different pots and I just can't sit still. It's probably the ADD, but I really enjoy getting a chance to interact with a lot of different people and do a lot of different things. But as you said, my primary role is being a host and MC, and that is welcoming folks to events, making sure that people are having a good time, whether that's on a big screen or through a television camera or just on a stage with a mic. I just like talking to people, helping people have fun.
He does a damn good job at it. So good at it.
Yeah. Well, you're a natural. So talk to me about how we got here. Like, what is your background and how you came to be in the position that you're in now?
So as a little kid, I can remember walking in front of our giant plate glass window in our dining room, and everybody would be seated around the table, and I would go out into the backyard and walk in front of this giant window and put on a show. Of course, they couldn't hear me, but I would fall down and I would make jokes and I would just walk around and they were all just laughing and having a great time. And from that moment, I was like, oh, there's a power in making people laugh and helping people have fun and engaging them. And so from a very young age, I found myself with a microphone in my hand. But my first hosting gig, and I just revisited this, was at Science Hill High School 33 years ago on the stage.
I saw this post.
Yeah, my drama teacher was like, Jose, I just moved to town, sophomore in high school, didn't know many people, joined the drama club because I really like talking to people. And she said, Jose, you would make a great host. And I was like, wow, what is this host MC thing? And so she explained, we're doing a series of one-act plays, and you're not the star of the show, but you're the glue of the show. You make sure things start on time, end on time. You tell little jokes in between. You make sure the audience is engaged. And I did that. They gave me like a suit with top hat and cane and tails. And I was like,
as a 15-year-old.
Oh,
That's right.
I was like, I'm in. This is
Uh-huh.
awesome.
Hey, ladies.
Exactly.
Pop the
I
hat.
know. It's
A little tip of the hat
and good
there.
day to you.
Yeah.
So from that moment, I look back now and I'm like, well, of course, I was destined to be a host and MC. Everything I've done along my path has led back to that, helping people feel welcomed. There's always an extra seat at the table. There's always an opportunity to bring somebody else in and make sure they feel at home.
And you've been able to do it all from Johnson City the whole time. Did you move after high school or college, any of that, or did you stay here?
I like to tell people I'm not from here, but I got here as quick as I could.
Amen.
And
Same.
I've stayed here. I genuinely, I went away for a year for a job that I took out west, but honestly, this has been my home ever since. And the more I travel, the more I love coming back here. This is a great place to live, work, get a chance to travel from here. And one little hop, I can be in Atlanta and then I can be anywhere in the world.
Yep.
So for me, this is the place to be. And as long as I'm around, will always be my home.
It's funny that you say that little hop to Atlanta, because I just want to put a little plug in there. Fly, try. Come
Yeah,
on.
oh, definitely. I
Fly
love
out
like
your
to plug
local
it.
airport. I mean, it's just very important that people do that. And that's the exact reason why you can get to
I love walking in. TSA's like, hey, Jose, where are you going this week?
And you're also in so it's always so quick.
Yeah.
too.
The most convenient.
Yeah.
So sorry, just needed that little
No,
plug.
no,
You had to put
no.
it in there, and people
Yeah.
need to
Thank you to our sponsors. Coming next season, they'll be our sponsors.
Jose Flies Try. So should you?
That's right. It's a spicy flight, which is a good segue.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we talked about it when you walked in. Just like you've coined this, have a spicy day, stay spicy. Tell us how that came to be and how it's people have latched onto it and it's like it is you. Like everyone is like, it's spicy. It's Jose.
So I love peppers. I love hot food. Obviously, my dad was born and raised in Mexico, so I grew up eating jalapenos, and I've always loved that. And as I started to kind of build a personal brand and start to do some speaking and consulting, and I had this picture of me that a friend of mine designed, and I used it on my sticker card, which I've given away stickers for years.
I have that
I know,
sticker.
stickers are amazing. They're a wonderful thing. If you have a sticker, send it to me at Think Jose. I'd love to see your picture of my sticker somewhere, because people have sent them to me.
Yes.
Bus stop in Greece, the airplane bathroom. Don't put them in there. But so I started doing my little face, and I was like, man, I love ideas. I love coming up with things, and I'm constantly trying to rework what I do and how I do it. And so creativity has been a big part of my life. So a friend of mine came up with a little habanero light bulb above my head, and it was like, spicy idea. And so I started putting that over my face on my sticker cards, and Think Jose, like spicy ideas, thinking about things, is what my first domain was, what my first social media was.
Remember?
So it has been Spicy Ideas and Think Jose ever since.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the peppers. So if you guys come to Johnson City, whoever's listening, go to Juan Chow, and you have all your peppers that you painted there, right?
Yes. So one year I traveled too much and I came home and I just collapsed. And my wife Shannon was like, Jose, you have not done anything creative this year. I'd stopped playing music because I was traveling too much. She's like, you need to have a creative outlet. And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't done it. So my whole family are all artists. They're all crazy people. And so I was like, but I'd never painted. I'd always done music or other things, performing arts. And so I started painting, and I painted a pepper a day for a year. And I said, it has to be a small format, and it's got to be something I can do in 5 to 10 minutes. But I painted, with pencil, Sharpie, acrylic, oil, fire, beer, wine, sand, anything I could get my hands on. And I painted a pepper a day for a year, 365 of them. And 64 of them are hanging on the wall in Juan Chow right now.
Yeah.
Is that an escape for you?
Oh, totally. I love painting, art, anything having to do with a creative outlet with your hands. Like, I love it. And I still, to this day, I don't paint one every day, but like my Christmas card this year, I did a woodblock print, which I'd never done before. I got some linotype, carved it out, did the little thing. And I was like, this is great. I can make a whole bunch by just going, I got my own little automation.
That is fascinating.
Where did you find the time? Like you literally travel so much, and this year especially.
Yeah, 130 days on the road this year. So
God, that is a lot. And then still finding time to do all this stuff, run a business, and all the other things.
I don't know how to do it. I have the same 24 hours. Yeah, I play Latin percussion. So I play congas and bongos, drums. So
the more you know about Jose.
Did we say that?
Right.
He's an author too. He wrote a kid's book. All the things my nephews.
The things we think we know, surface level, right?
Yeah.
today we see the deeper, and that's impressive. I mean,
Wow,
that
everybody's got great stories. That's the thing. You dig in.
We do.
start
We
to
just
ask
have to
people.
learn to tell them.
Yeah.
And
You do a great
and
job.
you do a great job of telling your story. So
Thank you.
a lot of people in this region connect you with NASCAR,
Mhm.
right? Because that's where they're connected.
That's right.
Tell us about that piece of your life in the NASCAR world.
So I've always been a car guy. I was the guy that had the picture of the Lamborghini hanging up on his wall in his bedroom.
A poster.
Yes.
A poster.
I didn't have an
Not a
actual
picture,
Lamborghini.
it was probably a post,
it
like
definitely
the
was.
folded.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
Folded out
It was all
poster.
ripped
Okay,
and torn.
Lara, you're gonna get us in trouble with our boss.
Sorry.
Do you like Lamborghinis?
She's over
Yeah.
my shoulder.
She's staring at you. I see her.
But I was the only car guy in my family. So I didn't grow
They
up
were all
with
painting.
they were all doing other things. So at a young age, I really became just infatuated with cars, speed, etc. I had a fast car. I really loved that. Well, after moving to Johnson City, Tennessee, I start going to the race and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And it was such a cool experience to go to my first race and kind of experience Bristol. If you've never been, you got to go because
That's
just
right.
wall of sound, wall of air, it's just amazing.
Nothing like it
I
anywhere
know.
else in the world.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And so through that experience, I'd started doing some hosting, emceeing, some on-camera work. And the folks at Bristol reached out and they were like, hey, Jose, we're the first track in NASCAR that's really going to start to use our big screen as kind of like a morning show before the race. Because fans come hours before the race, sit in their seat, and they had a captive audience with these screens, and they would show country music videos and ads. And they were like, what can we do to activate that? And so 18 years ago, they hired me to be the on-screen host and talent for Bristol Motor Speedway, baby Colossus back then.
Yeah.
And so I got my first start doing that. And I showed up and they had a camera crew. We would go out in the campgrounds and cook food with people and record videos and play them back on the big screen. And then as we got closer to race time, I would go up in the stands and give stuff out, get people up on the big screen, help them become part of the show, interview drivers, celebrities, guests. And I loved it. Like that for me, I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. It was a live event experience. Some of it was scripted, most of it wasn't. And I got a chance to really kind of find my way through that moment. And Bristol was the first track to start doing this. Other tracks then started to kind of jump on. And over the years, I would go to another one and another one and another one. And then just a couple of years ago, I wound up doing 23 races out of the season. That was too many. So I scaled that back. So now I do between 15 and 18 races a season as the host of the big screen at the track, but also hosting Trackside Live, like a live show at the event.
Yeah. And so do you keep, you have to stay up on all that information on the sport too. And it's a lot.
It is.
I'm still fairly new in the motorsports industry and trying to learn how it all works with the playoffs and all that. So have you been a NASCAR fan before, or is it when you moved here and went to the first race, you kind of dove into the sport?
It was the first race that I went to where I was like, oh, this is interesting. And again, I didn't grow up in a family that watched a lot of sports or that, was involved in that. So when I got that first taste of it, and then especially that next year when I went to work. So the year after I became a fan, I went to work. And
you had to learn why.
I did. Right. And I still feel like there's stuff that I'm learning about it.
Sure.
But my job is not to be the expert on all the details. My job is to be the connector to the fans and the experience. And that's different than being a journalist, different than being a play-by-play announcer. My job's to be there to connect the fans and the experience.
And with the drivers.
Oh, yeah. And that's the cool part is the drivers are now part of this as well. And a lot of the tracks, they can see and hear the big screen and what we're doing. So we'll call out questions from the crowd to the driver. We'll get, the crowd to respond during driver intros or whatever those moments are. We now get a chance for the drivers to interact back with the fans as part of the in-race experience.
How's the experience of interviewing? So once upon a time in my former life, I worked one race and I was in the pits. I knew nothing about NASCAR. I hadn't lived here very long, and I'm trying to interview these drivers, and I don't have a clue what I'm supposed to do.
But you're cute. You had no problem. Come on.
However, what is your experience with interviews with these drivers? Tell us some fun stories. Who's hard to talk to? Who's easy to talk to? Who you going after to try and get them fired up?
Yeah, so they get plenty fired up on their own. And you have to remember too, these are competitors and all they want to do is win. So a lot of times when I'm talking to them pre-race, et cetera, they're chill, they're having a good time. We can talk about whatever we want, et cetera. But once green flag flies, they become competitors. And so a lot of times you're going to get frustration. You're going to get, especially because I talk to them after they wreck out.
Then you're getting good interview.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what I'm after.
We're going to need to take out a few of these words.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was not going to do that when I was trying to. I was like,
Yeah.
no.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's wild. It's probably one of the weirdest experiences was the All-Star race in Charlotte. It was years ago when Dale Jr. was racing, and he ran out of gas on the last lap. He was winning and ran out of gas and pulled in, lost the All-Star race. And there are, hundreds of thousands of fans watching this race, and none of them left their seat. And the reason, normally the race ends, everybody kind of gets up and goes on their way. Everybody was waiting to hear what Dale Jr. had to say. So my producer is in my ear like, where is Dale Jr.? We got to find that interview now. And apparently when he ran out of gas, instead of coming back to his pit, he had just pulled right into the garage area. And so I am sprinting down pit road, my big belt pack, headset, microphone, my cameraman sprinting. We're running down. And we finally see where Dale Jr. pulled into the garage. He's just getting out of the car. And of course, media is swarming him. And I'm like, there are all these people right here waiting with bated breath to hear what he has to say. And so I'm like muscled my way in through the scrum. And I'm like, put the mic to his face. And Dale, of course, he's like, man, I just hate it for the fans. Thank you guys. And the crowd just goes nuts. And like this roar of support.
That's exactly right. Hear from him. That's right.
Because they wanted to hear from him. And that was one of those moments where I was like, this is a powerful connection, what we get to do, particularly with the screen show, because there's a whole fan base that's there to enjoy the experience and they want to see and hear what's going on.
And he carries the legacy too. So.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Do you have any, it could be any event, NASCAR or otherwise, just like your favorite interview or experience, whether that's with a fan or with a driver or celebrity?
So I love celebrities when it's their first time to a NASCAR race. And I've had a chance to talk to a whole bunch of them and interact with a whole bunch of them. And most of the time, their faces are just blown away. Like first of all, they show up and there's this crowd and they're just like, oh my goodness, even, it is. Yeah. And just to see and hear the cars and feel the excitement. Probably one of my most memorable moments was at Bristol Motor Speedway. And about 5 minutes before the pre-race concert, one of the guys comes up, he's like, hey, Jose, just found out NBC is going to take the first song from this set, from this musician. And you're going to do the intro live on broadcast TV. Don't screw it up, and walks off. Cool. And this is like 5 minutes before this is going to happen. Well, it was Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh, that's cool.
When he released his country album. Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Don't screw this
Really
up.
don't screw it up. I've got Steven Tyler getting ready to walk on a stage. NBC is going to take this live on broadcast. We've got a huge crowd here. This is a huge moment. So I'm standing there beside the stage and I'm like, okay, don't screw it up. Here's what I've got to say. You got to make sure I get these words right, etc. Well, up walks Steven Tyler. And so we're like interacting. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I run up on stage. I do the thing. I nail it. And as I get ready to turn and walk off, Steven Tyler walks up and winks at me.
Yes, he did.
You're like,
and I was like,
got you.
In that moment, I was like, all right, I got Steven Tyler to wink at me.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, I'm good. I can continue on with the rest of my day.
These are bragging rights.
I know.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to what I'm so excited to hear about. Can we get there now?
We can.
Okay, because then let's dive into Olympics.
Well, I mean, we talk about your NASCAR side of the world, but things just went next level yet again for you. Yeah. We need to talk a little bit about how in the world Jose ends up as part of the Olympics. What?
Yeah.
I felt the same way. Yeah. It was one of those moments where I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff in my life, but this wasn't even on my radar. It was not something that I thought was even possible. I'm a huge Olympics fan. I have to tell you, as a kid growing up, we didn't have a TV in our house. Because my dad was in advertising. He's like, I don't want a TV in the house. I want the kids to read and listen to music, etc. But every couple of years, when the Olympics would come around, Dad would go rent a TV, bring it into the house for the Olympics.
Wow.
And so the only TV I watched growing up was the Olympic Games, literally.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I know. This story is
it's
already crazy.
I
I can just at the beginning.
Yeah. So for me, the highlight of sport, of achievement, of entertainment was the Olympics.
Well, of course.
And because that's what I knew.
Also
That's
for an
what
athlete. I mean, that's
It is
Oh,
the highlight.
100%, 100%. So over the years, that's just been a part, like family to this day, we still watch opening, closing ceremony, watch all the, the events we're excited about, et cetera, cheer them on. Like that's a big part of my family, history. So after almost 20 years of working events and experiences and getting a chance to work with some amazing teams of people, I have an event company that I've worked with for a long time and wonderful folks. They're now Wasserman, part of the group that puts on the Olympics. So I get a call a couple months out from the Summer Games, and it's a producer who I'd worked with before, and he's like, "Hey, Jose," he's like, "would you be interested and or available to come help at the Olympic Games host?" And I'm like, "Yes,
yeah,
of
I
course,
will be
yes,
available.
yeah."
This is only a couple months out. So it's
Right.
not
Oh,
like-
this is like
it's kinda-
short
it's happening quick,
timing.
yeah.
Right. And what had happened was this is a first time of things. So normally Team USA, they have a Team USA house. And what
Right.
that is when you go to a city, you set up an event venue for all the athletes, team, partners, sponsors, as a place to come watch the games when they're done competing, or just a place to hang out, relax. So it's not the dorms, it's not the Olympic Village, it's a separate location, event space just for the team. Well, for the first time ever, they decided to open it up to the public and sell tickets. So they're now taking this kind of private event experience and now elevating it and saying, we want it to be, this amazing experience that fans can buy a ticket for. So they started programming it out, and they're like, okay, we got athletes and Olympians and celebrity guests, and we're gonna have pop-up shops and bars and all this cool things. And then they got to the host part, and they're like, well, we're gonna have athletes host it. And the production company was like, you really need a professional to kind of help tie that all together. And
The
so they
glue.
went, exactly, the glue.
Like back
That's
in
right,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
need somebody to help with the glue. And so they kind of went back and forth, and then ultimately like, all right, we need somebody. And so they reached out and asked me to put my name in the hat. Fortunately, NASCAR broadcast on NBC, same time as the Olympics, so they took 3 weeks off. So NASCAR was not going for 3 weeks. So I'm like, that 3 weeks is open in my schedule. So
Wow.
So
let me
why
know.
not?
What
why
beautiful,
not?
like, just
Can't do the
timing of
Summer
everything.
Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll go to Paris.
Yeah.
Right.
So I put my name in the hat, sent a bunch of stuff, et cetera. And it's just back and forth. And I'm so many other people applying. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get the job. And that's okay. I'm honored to just have been asked.
Right.
So we get down to it, and it's like, they're like, we're getting close to decision time. We've got a meeting this morning. I'm like, hey, can I send a personal video to you guys? I really want this committee to kind of know who I am. And I've sent the reel and my bio and all that. But so I called Jerry at Bristol. I'm like, hey, Jerry, can I come up and shoot a quick video this morning? He's like, yeah, come on. Call my videographer. Hey, can you meet me at Bristol in 30 minutes? And he's like, yeah. And so go to Bristol, get up on top of the media center, shoot a quick video. Hey, this is my house, and I would love to come represent Team USA in Paris for the Olympics at Team USA House. Just a quick little video about who I am, what I do, and kind of the stage that I work on. So I sent it to him, and I get the call back, Jose, we'd love to welcome you as host.
You just,
That is incredible.
You set yourself apart.
So
Good
fortunately, I got a chance to work with amazing people for 3 weeks. It was the longest event I've ever worked in my life.
Yeah, because those were long days, even at the house, right?
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like,
Yeah.
the hours,
Yeah.
never mind the time adjustment.
right. Yeah.
But they're just going around the clock. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, it was wild. So it was noon to midnight every day. The house was open.
Okay.
16 days in a row. I had 1 day off. I was there for 3 weeks. And about half of the day was scripted out. So we knew, okay, we're going to talk to this person at this time. But the other half, we didn't know who were going to win what medals. And
Right.
so we would have people just randomly show up at the house and be like, oh, there's Terry Crews, or there's Bobby Flay, or, whatever it was.
Bobby Slay.
did you get to cook with Bobby?
I didn't get to cook with Bobby.
That is my like
Um,
chef crush.
Goals.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I
just
did
go ahead and raise the bar for next
Yeah.
time.
I did
Next
get to
Summer
make
Olympics.
drinks with Brian Boitano. So I did get that.
Okay.
So didn't get to
So,
cook with Bobby.
Go
but-
back
yeah.
many years ago. I used to love to watch him ice skate.
Yes. Oh, amazing. It was, and all of the Olympians that we got a chance to interview were just who you think they would be. They were the same people that you've watched on TV, that you've seen and interacted with. And that was something that was unexpected for me. I've worked events pretty much my whole life, and everybody talks about the Olympic spirit. and that it's a thing. And I'm like, is it really? And you go and you're like, it is.
Makes
It
me happy.
really
I know.
is.
So talk about the Brian Boitano experience. What drink did you make? How was it? Was it strong?
It was lovely. So he had 3 drinks that he's got a cocktail bar that he owns, and he's done some cooking shows and some other things. And so we had all these experiences set up throughout the day in the house. And I got to paint the picture for you. This is when I say house, this is the Palais Brongniart, which was built in 1840 by Napoleon. It's
I saw pictures from
so here, which by the way,
So awesome.
here I got you a little postcard there.
There's the house.
Yeah, there's the house, the Palais Brongniart.
This is
And
so awesome.
here, meet me in Tennessee.
Girl.
I customized it for you.
Love you, Jose.
So that's for you guys. There you go.
He's going to take us. He's going to take us with him.
That's right. That's right. We'll be the cocktail tasters. We can totally do that.
I feel certain that we can handle that.
This needs to stay at the local level. We'll let you do the interviewing.
We'll just
This is
follow your
awesome.
lead.
Come on with me. Come on
Thank
with me.
you.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
But yeah,
So this is
so
how
they
we are.
set
It's
this
gigantic.
Yeah, they set up this amazing event venue as an experience for fans. Cool. And so there was a Polo Ralph Lauren store, there was a Nike store, there was Oakley underneath, there was 2 Michelob Ultra bars, there were events going on all day long, food, beverage, etc., all that, and all of the screens, so you could watch all of the Olympic Games and be there all day. And then we had events going on, so we would program things throughout the day, interview Olympians from games past, interview modern day Olympians that had just won their medals, and they would come in wearing their medals, and then they would sit down with the fans and enjoy watching the games together. So there was just these amazing moments that happened throughout the entire experience that were there for the fans. And again, that's why I do what I do. So for me, it was a perfect fit. I get a chance to go do what I do on a normal everyday basis with NASCAR or with, a corporate event, but I get to do that on a global scale, for Team USA House.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
This couldn't have even been a dream job. I'm not even sure that you could ever even think dream job because.
Yeah, you don't.
And it's the first time it's happened. Was the response like, yeah, we're going to be doing this again?
I feel very confident about the future of Team USA House.
And you've made sure that they know you're interested.
I'm available. Let me know. Let me know.
Where is it? Where are the next?
LA 2028,
LA,
which if you've never been to an Olympic Games, please go, especially since it's going to be on U.S. soil. Go to LA 2028, put it on your calendar now.
Right.
It is, the Olympic experience is unlike anything else I've ever done.
Meet me in Tennessee in LA.
I love it.
I can dig it.
We'll take this show on the road.
Right?
Let's do it. I might have a stage for you. Maybe we can put it on the stage.
So I was young when the Olympics were in Atlanta, and I have this
use a baby.
I have a baby.
Use a baby.
I have this framed print, or it's like a framed shadow box of all the Olympic pins.
Oh yeah,
that's so
I just
cool.
sent you a picture. Yeah, my dad got all the Olympic.
I didn't realize how big a pin game the Olympics were. So I made my own pins. I made little flavor pepper pins.
Of course you
and I only made 100 of them.
Oh.
I was gone in a couple days, and I'm like, oh.
Did you get more?
No, I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like it already took me a couple weeks to order them.
Leave them wanting more. Next time. In 2028, they'll be like, get me one of those pepper pins. I need a pepper pin. Yeah, absolutely.
So the coolest pin moment was I got to put my little Flavor Ink orange habanero pepper. I got to put my flavor pin on Flava Flav.
Yes, you did.
I pinned Flava Flav.
Can we talk for a minute about Flava Flav? First of all, wait. Is he fabulous?
He's wonderful. Yeah.
He also seems like a tiny man. Maybe it's because the watch is pretty small, right? Maybe it's because the clock is so large. But he seems like a tiny man. But he seems like a lot of fun.
He has got so much energy. And, I got a chance to chat with him and interview him at the house. But the coolest part was talking to his manager behind the scenes. And she's like, Jose, this is all him. He wants to be here. He wants to go out and see the fans. His support for the women's water polo team was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and amazing ambassador for our country, for the sport, for the fans. It was just a delight to work with. Shook every hand, took every photo, said hello to every person who wanted to interact.
I love when I hear that.
I love
people that you see on screen and
but
stuff.
Did you cross paths with Snoop?
I had one day off in my entire experience, and on that day, Snoop Dogg came into Team USA House.
Stop. How's that? I'm telling you, I loved that entire experience.
I know.
All of those pieces that fell
Yeah.
into place at the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
And then when Martha came in, oh my gosh,
know.
I mean, beautiful.
It
It's
was
just
wild.
a thing of beauty to represent our country with Snoop and Martha and
It
Flavor
was.
Flav. I mean,
right.
I was very proud. And,
I was.
and Jose.
Oh man.
And Jose.
And
Put your
that's
paper down. You're going to get in trouble. Golly. She just liked to test the.
speaking of
limits.
directors talking about holding papers and things.
Yeah.
I had the most amazing team. And most of the time when I'm working, I'll have 2 or 3 people on my team, whether it's a camera person and a producer in my ear, maybe a field producer or director. I had 6 people on my team. So I had everybody from a script writer to somebody with a teleprompter to an audio tech to a stage manager to a producer in my ear. And they are what made my job doable. And you look at what it takes to put on the Olympics, and it was staggering, the amount of people that came together to make it happen. And a big shout out to my team because they literally made me look like a rock star every day because they were rock stars. And we all felt that elevated sense of, oh, this is the biggest stage in the world and we need to do a great job. And they crushed it. And so I am very thankful for the people that helped me be able to do this for, 16 days.
Well, we are very thankful, though, I want to say, to have someone from Northeast Tennessee or representing Northeast Tennessee. It's home for you now.
Oh, it is.
On that stage.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
how
were so-
proud are we to say, hey,
That's
we
our
know
guy.
that guy.
Yeah.
He belongs here. And that you're very proud
Oh, yeah.
of here.
And it was great to represent this region and see people come through the house that were part of this region. So Brody Malone, born in Johnson City, had that bronze medal hanging around his neck. I got a chance to get up on stage in an Order of Eco ceremony, and he got to give a medallion to his dad. His dad was up there on stage as well. And so, there was these moments of connecting back to Northeast Tennessee that just made my heart so happy. And people from all over the world. So it wasn't just Americans.
Right.
Team USA House
Right.
was a ticket for anybody. So we had Australians and Swedes and, Venezuelans and, all these folks. And it was really cool to interact with all those folks throughout, the 3 weeks. And everybody was so kind and so excited about being there. And it really brought home how much more we have in common than we do apart. And these people from all over the world that were just super excited to connect with you. Whether I got the Mongolian wrestling team, got a chance to meet the coach and talk with those folks. Fans from Argentina, soccer fans, got a chance to talk with them. So every interaction I had was, a chance not only to talk about Northeast Tennessee, but also connect it back to the world. And it was just very humbling, but also very, very exciting.
I was so sad when it ended because there is this piece of unity that just like everyone can feel and be excited about the same things.
We all
and
connected.
Yeah.
There were no lines.
Yeah. And we were so proud to have you there representing our country and then our region too. It's like an incredible experience. And like you said, one you couldn't even dream up.
No.
And now it's like, I don't know what you put next on your wish list.
So I've
or
been
dream
thinking about
job.
that a lot.
I'm
like, all right.
So how do I top this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Have you thought of anything? Any ideas?
So I have a list that I've started working on. I've not shared it yet, but it was a reminder to me that anything's possible. Yeah. And I think people, wherever you're at in life, and I'm talking to you, if you're watching or listening right now, you can do it. The impossible happens every single day. And I think for me, the takeaway is work hard. Like this was not an overnight success. I've been doing this, 20 plus years. This was an opportunity for me to work alongside people for a long time and have them go, yeah, Jose, this is the right fit. And it was a great fit. So work really hard at what you do and realize, be patient. It's going to take time to get those, Mount Everest moments, but they will come. I guarantee you, work hard, show up, be kind, and those moments will come.
Meet me in Tennessee. Look here. Look at
Look at
this
this
moment.
Yeah.
I know.
Given this
You guys are
opportunity of season 3 of Meet Me in Tennessee.
Hey, most people don't make it past season 1.
That's right. That's
season
right.
3.
Thank you, Jose. But this is just our first season. Check back for season 4. We'll see.
That
We'll
contract's pending. I want to hear, because you've made this your home since you were 15. I want to hear about what you love about this region, about this community, why you choose to stay, raise your family here, and just what makes it so special to you.
So it's big enough and small enough. And this is the pitch I give around the world. And you guys know this, but for those listening or watching, I recruit wherever I go in the world. I'm like, hey, you got to come here, even if it's just a visit. And it's big enough to have, good sushi, excellent coffee, great internet. But it's small enough that in 5 minutes, I can be on top of Buffalo Mountain and be in the middle of nowhere and feel like I'm, just lost by myself. So for me, that's the great, balance of being here, is getting to ride my mountain bike up, the fire trail all the way to the top of Pinnacle and stand and look out and see the forest. Cherokee National Forest is massive. Most people don't realize 600,000+ acre national forest right here. And it's like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So there's other places that claim to be mountain towns. We literally are in a mountain. There's mountains right here that you can just walk over to.
Yeah.
But it's also been the community of people. So there's something special about, whether it's the pioneer spirit or whatever you want to call it, the people that gravitate and live in the mountains are the most hospitable, but also some of the toughest, some of the people that, like to work hard, that like to have their own kind of private area, but are also like, come on up on the front porch and hang out.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, if that's what you want, then you should come here. And to talk about one other little thing, Spark Plaza, our co-working space, is 15 years old now. We have 70+ members, and people come from all over the world, not because of the co-working space. They come because of the region, because of all the cool things that we have to offer. And whether that's you can work remote and get all these cool things, whether it's, low cost of living, high quality of life, all of those things lead to people coming here. And especially over the last few years, we've had this amazing influx of folks. And then they go, oh yeah, this is really cool. I do want to stay here. So I will continue to call this place home. And that's why, we've got a house, we've raised our kids, we have a business, and why every time I get on an airplane, I'm like, I'll be back in a little bit.
Yep. Thank you for being an amazing ambassador.
Thank you.
For Northeast Tennessee. Oh, she does. Yeah. She has another. I'm
Well,
sorry.
because he's a foodie and he's also a cook.
Okay,
He also
fair,
cooks.
fair.
But
add it to the list. All
yeah,
the
I
things.
know. Literally, the things Jose can do.
I really feel like I need to go out and teach myself a few new things after today. He's inspired me that I can do more.
You
Go
can.
do it.
He just said that. Anything's
Thank you.
possible.
This is true.
Now, this might be the peak. This might be the peak of our career.
We have hit the epitome.
This is
here.
our Mount Everest, if you will.
We got it.
Okay, my question, though, because he's a foodie, 24 hours in the region.
Oh.
Where are you eating? Because I feel like
Okay.
this is what the people need to know. When you're coming to
Yeah.
visit, or, you need to know where to go
Okay.
for foodies.
So because I do love the region, I'm going to give some stuff around.
That's good. Sprinkle the love.
Yeah, I know. You got to sprinkle the love.
That's safest.
It's all, I know. Yeah. So let's see. So let's go. All right. Let's start with.
This is tough.
I am like on the edge of my seat here. This was a great
This
question.
is the most challenging
It's all about the
question.
food.
I know, it really is. So I'm going to go what I know the best, which is Mexican food. And I'm going to start with La Costa Chica has
Never been.
the best tacos al pastor. So that's the most traditional Mexican taco. You go and they have like this big spit with all the thin slices of pork and pineapple and onion and shave it off onto a thing.
Yes.
They do, it's called a trompa, and they do that at La Costa Chica in Johnson City. So go there for a very traditional street taco like you would get in Mexico.
This is good to know.
Yeah. So let's go coffee. There are literally, 4 coffee places within a stone's throw of right here. But I'm a cortado guy. So that's a Spanish cup of coffee. It's equal parts espresso and milk. And I would go to the Moon for a cortado. Then I would go, oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give a little insider tip.
Okay.
So if you're a bourbon person, go to Kingsport. B&B Package has some of the coolest bourbon bottles that you can find anywhere in the country come through that little store.
They do.
So if you're a bourbon person, go there.
Okay. That's good. My brother's Christmas list.
And
Done.
another little tidbit, the new owner of B&B Package Store is also the owner of Stir Fry Group.
Yes.
That has a number of different restaurants throughout the region.
All the
So a little shout out to Martin Bagwell and some of those folks that they show a lot of love.
They do.
To Northeast
They do.
Tennessee. So
And the brunch at Wan Shao
Yeah.
is excellent. I love a good spicy brunch, and they've got a good spicy brunch.
And you can see the pepper art.
That's right. And you can see the pepper art. I just saw a show at the Paramount. John Christ was just at Paramount. Got a chance to hang out with my friend John. We did driver intros together one time at Texas. He's a hilarious guy. So he was at the Paramount. So if you want to go see a show, that theater is just an amazing.
Magnificent.
It's a jewel right on State Street. And then some places kind of out of the way. Let's see. Some hidey holes. Thai Am. Out in the middle of nowhere, it's in between Elizabethton and Hampton. And it's, or actually right past Hampton. And it's this little lady's house, and she serves Thai food. And you got to show up early or else it's gone when it's gone.
So
Okay, I've heard of this
our
one.
teeny
Yeah.
tiny boss, our director that's over my shoulder right
Yeah.
now, something tells me she knows about
She
this
probably
place.
does.
She's
knows
shaking
all
her
She
head.
this
seeks
place.
these,
Yeah.
in particular, Thai.
Yeah.
When Thai is involved, I need her with me to direct me on what to order. And I love it.
Mhm.
I'm just not as knowledgeable about Thai food, and I get real nervous. And as we discussed, I can't see the menu.
Yeah.
I know.
Flashlight.
I know.
Anyway.
So the other place I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it, I'm going to make you search for it, is the best Italian food that I've had in 100 miles is in Mountain City. And you know this place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a guy from Italy who hand makes all the pasta, all the bread,
I'm there.
everything's.
You give me
Homemade.
good bread.
Right.
Um,
right.
And I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I don't want you to know about it because it's hard for me to get a table. So, but if
That's
you really
fair.
want it, you can go
That's
search.
fair.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
say it either. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not
This is
saying
just
it.
one more reason to show that you are just such a great ambassador, spokesperson,
Oh,
advocate.
Irwin one too. I got to throw some
Oh,
Irwin. I got to
give
throw
us
some
some
love.
love.
So
Should.
the Red Fork in Irwin is amazing, and it's one of the co-founders of Timber
Yes.
started the Red Fork, and so go show them some love, and especially with post Helene, please go visit all of our mountain towns that are open. They need your business. Go eat some food and spend some money.
Shop local.
Yes.
Eat local.
Well, you talked
That's
about
right.
the strength of those people, us that are in the mountains and how strong we are. This is a perfect example with
Mhm.
tragedy that hit such as Helene that we never would have expected in, 500 years.
Yeah.
That,
Resilient,
my goodness,
resourceful.
how resilient we are. And
Yeah.
we grow back
We do.
Mm-hmm.
stronger and better for it. So,
Yeah.
and because of people like you and like you, my friend,
And you too.
but all of us, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very
We
much.
appreciate your time. We can't wait to see what's next. And we're so right?
We're so proud of you. We're so
We're so
glad
proud.
that you're in our
Thank you all.
community doing all that you do.
Well, thank you all, and I appreciate you all highlighting all the amazing things we have to offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have to close out. She's shutting us
Oh,
down
whoops.
for
I got to
today.
get this back out.
Hey, listen to us wherever you choose to listen to your podcasts.
That's right.
Meet me in Tennessee.
You
What
did-
else?
You got to say like what you
Well,
hear.
if you like what you hear. If you don't like what you hear,
Bye.
please still do so. Just keep listening. You'll find something that you like in there.
Okay, I'll finish her line
Okay,
since I
thank
can
you.
see it. Go to northeasttennessee.org to find out more and share your Tennessee stories with us on all the socials and use the hashtag MeetMeInTN. Until next time,
We did it again.
thank you, Jose.